Everyone, welcome once again to my YouTube channel. My name is OJ and you are welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video is all about this beautiful style that you are seeing on the screen right now. In my last tutorial, I explained how someone sent this video to me. I posted it on my short, my YouTube short, and someone sent this style to me and said she wanted it in the top and skirt. She does not want it a full wrap gown, because what you are seeing on this style is a full wrap gown with a half cut on the waist, right? But the person said she wanted the skirt wrap and the top wrap separately. Hope that is clear. So in my last tutorial, we learned how to make the wrap top. If you have yet to watch that, please do where to watch that so that you can understand the down part. But if you are here for just the skirt, which is the wrap skirt part with the ruffle, this is the video for you. So I'm going to be sharing with you the tips and every way to calculate to have an accurate measurement for this style. Hope that is clear. So I'm going to make use of a lot of fabric because of it is flay, and it also have a ruffle which you also cut in a flay form. So I now draft it. I went ahead to draft it on my pattern so that I can be able to manage my fabric. The measurement you need is your waist round, your waist circumference, your waist measurement round. Hope that is clear. So the person I'm working this for, the waist is 34 inches. So the waist is 34 inches. So this 34 inches for her waist, is a wrap gown, right? So you need an extension. Normally, what we do is that the extension, you can make use of your nipple to nipple measurement. But for the style that you are seeing, is it at the nipple or make it a little bit away from the nipple, or even make it to the side, depending on what you want. So for me, I'm going to take it to the side a little bit. So I'm going to add 7 inches to that. The person nipple to nipple is 9 inches divided by 2 will give us 4.5 inches, right? But for this person, the formula I'm going to use to get her wrap is her waist measurement divided by 4. Then I will remove 1.5 inches away from that. When we were making for the wrap top, that is what I did. So I want it to fall at the same point so that you can have this exact look that you are seeing on the screen. So that gives me 7 inches, and is a wrap, so it's on both sides. So that 7 inches divided by 7 inches plus 7 inches will give us 14 inches. So that makes us to have 14 inches. So 34 for the waist plus 14 inches for the wrap. Hope that is clear. So this 14 inches now will give us, so if you put this together, will give us 48 inches. 48 inches. Now you need size seam allowance because there's going to be a pocket on this. So I'm going to add +1. So I'm going to add +1. So that will give me 49 inches, right? Equals to 49 inches. Hope you are following. So that will give me 49 inches. So this 49 inches, we are going to now divide it by 3.14. That's for the radius. So the radius, if I divide this 49 divided by 3.14, remember how we get this 49 inches, right? So you can go over again and watch this again to understand how we get this 49 inches. Your waist measurement round, which is 34 plus 14 inches. I've explained how we get this 14 inches plus 1 inch, right? That gives us 49 inches. Now divided by 3.14, and that will give us equals to 15.6. So that gave us 15.6. So the radius for this circle that I want to cut is 15.6. Hope that is clear. So to calculate for the amount of fabric you need to add this to your length so that you can just fold by exact fabric you need so that you don't waste your fabric. So the full length of the skirt is going to be 45 inches. Then the ruffle at the down part, remember there is a ruffle at the down part, so the ruffle is going to be 10. So we minus 10 away from this full length will give us 35 inches. Now remember, you need half inch to join it to the ruffle at the down part, half inch to add to your band. So that will give us 36 inches. So 36 inches now plus 15.6 is what we are going to be using as our fabric, and that will give us 51.6. So the amount of fabric you need, so I'm going to use this for example, the amount of fabric you need is going to be 51.6 in a fold. So let's imagine that this is our, you get your fabric, you fold it into two, from the fold you measure to have your 51.6 inches, right? So after which then you fold into two again. So you fold in a triangularly this way, right? So if you pay attention to what as I fold it this way, I still have some excess here. So I did not fold it to the edge. So you do not fold it to the edge. You fold it this way. Now the reason why I fold it this way and leave about 1 inch here, or you can leave half inch, the reason why I did that is because of this is going to be for my back, and this back own I'm going to make use of a side seam at the back, because I'm going to have a pocket at the side. So that give us, that would mean just follow what I'm doing, leave 1 inch or half inch from this part here, then fold it triangularly this way. So don't fold it equal at this edge here, leave half inch to 1 inch from here this way. So then I place my tape rule this way to get my radius of 15.6, right? So when I get it, then I measure down what I have from there this way. Then for example, let's say this is it, then I rotate it, right? Make sure that it's equal. You rotate it this way. So let's say this is the radius now. So the way we cut for our circle, right? So this is the radius. So from here, you measure down the length of your skirt. So the length after removing the 10 inches away, so the length that we are working with, remember, is 36 inches. So let's say for example now this is our 36 inches. So you rotate the 36 inches this way. So by the time you notice, you find out that you have a shortage here, don't worry, we'll work around it. You don't need, it's not going to disturb anything. So you just place it this way to measure it and rotate it, right? So for example now, if you want it to be even, you just measure from this upper part down to where you stop your length here. I remember we are using this paper here as example because the fabric is very big. It's not going to accommodate this my table here. So I'm just showing you what I would do on my fabric. So let's make use of this, what I have here. So let's imagine that this is my length of 36 inches. So I will follow it this way, to have my circle, right? So you see that there is a shortage here. By the time you do it on your own fabric, you have a shortage here. Don't worry about that. So we'll cut this out. This is what you will have, right? So remember, you still have excess here. You still have this part here that you do not fold in. This, what you have here, is what you are going to use for your side, your back, your center back seam, to close the center back. Hope you are following. So you measure from there. You measure your waist circumference divided by 4. So if I measure it, let's say for example this is where it stop, then you add your side seam allowance. So let's say this is it. This is the measurement here plus my side seam allowance. So my waist circumference, for example, divided by 4 is 8.5 inches, which is here. Then I added 1.5 inches for my side seam allowance. By the time you cut it out, you are going to have excess. Don't worry, because of the 1 inch you added, and by the time you times it with everything, you are having excess. So if you remove this, you are not going to have a shortage. So this is my waist starting from this center back. Remember the side seam, the back center back seam is already at here. Then you measure from there to where your waist circumference divided by 4 stopped. You add your side seam allowance, then you fold it back this way. Hope you are following. You fold it back this way. So by the time you fold it this way, this will now be for your side. This will be for your side, and this will be for your center front. So this center front, you have it folded. So you have it folded this way. You can see that it's folded. So what you do is that from this center front, you measure what you have here. So you measure to your waist circumference divided by 4. So let's say, for example, now this is it. Then you add the 7 inches. Remember the 7 inches. Make sure that the 7 inches is coming out from here. So you, let's say, for example, this is our 7 inches. So from this 7 inches now, you are going to come down one. We can come down, for example, now if it is in your fabric, you come down to 4 inches, right? So let's say this is our 4 inches. Then you are going to curve from this part here. You curve it this way. You curve it to meet the side this way, because you are going to add a ruffle here, right? So you don't want it to be too much. So you curve it this way, curve it this way, curve it this way, and blend it this way. So then you cut this out. So you see why I said when you were drafting the, you see why I said it's not really necessary if it's not meeting up. Remember that time that it was not meeting up here. It's not because you are going to see trim it. So now, after doing this, then you now open it up this way. Then you open the side. Remember the side, after we measure this way, this is our measurement, right? By the time you fold it this way, you have a crease line this way. So this line is what you are going to cut out. So you cut it this way. So you have your side seam here, right? This is your side seam of 1.5 inches. You also have a side seam here too of 1.5 inches. After which you have your waist divided by 4. You have it here plus your 7 inches here. So by the time you have it this way, for example, let's say this is how it's going to look, right? So you open it up this way. You open your fabric up this way. Then you place the front. You can open this now. Then you place the front. This is coming like this. So it's going to be a wrap like this. So this part here is going to meet up. While this part too is also going to meet up. So this is your size seam allowance. Your pocket is going to be here, right? Then you finish the sewing here. Then at the side too here, your pocket is going to be here. Then you finish the side here. Then you are going to have an opening for the front this way. You're also going to have an opening for the back, right? You are going to have an opening for the back, but before you open it up this way, you go ahead to sew this close. So you go ahead to sew this close. Then before you now open it up this way, then you now place the front panel. You place it on it this way. This is going towards the side, and this is going towards the side this way. Hope that is clear. So you have 4 panels now, right? So when you sew this close this way, you also sew your side seam allowance, sew your side seam here, add your pocket. You have a full wrap this way. So you can now wrap it, either wrap it this way or wrap it this way. Hope that is clear. So these patterns that I have, that is how I did it on my pattern. I make a pattern for it because I was trying to manage my fabric. So I have enough newspaper, so I use it to do the pattern, cut it this way, and I have 4 panels, and I place these 4 panels on my fabric to cut it on my fabric. Cut my lining alongside because I want to use a lining for this. I'm going to turn it with a lining, so I'll be cutting this on my fabric exactly how it
So
is now.
here are my patterns as I've created them based on the measurements that I'm working with. This is for the back. This is the 2 panels for the back, right? And this is the 2 panel for the sides, both for front and back, and front and back. And these are the total 4 panels that you should have if you follow all the method that I've shown you from the beginning, right? So these panels now, I'm going to cut them on my fabrics. The one in the center is the 2 center part. And now I've cut it on my fabric and see what I have. So I cut it right side face each other. I use one panel to cut the 2 right side face each other for front and for back. So here I have 4 pieces of these panels. I'm going to show you now how it is. So that is the center back. As I'm showing you, you can see that it's into 2. So I'm going to sew that place, right? Then this is the sides that connect the front and back together, that will have the pocket, right? So I will join all these panels together.
So guys, at this point I've already finished sewing this skirt to an extent. So I've already joined my so I place them right side face each other. That is for the front, one side for the front, one side for the back. Remember, we have four panels, right? We have the center opening at the back. Then we also have the sides, right? So now I've already joined all the points together. So this is the center, this is the side opening, and where our pocket will go into. So you can see how beautiful this pocket is. You can see how neat the pocket is, right? If you want me to show you how to achieve a neatly sewn pocket this way, let me know in the comment section. Then I will show you a detailed tutorial on this pocket. But for the meantime, this is what I have achieved here, and this is for the center back. I've also joined the two panels for the back, and this is the other side of the side that connect to the front, right? And this is our pocket for this other side as well. You can see how neat it is. So the same thing I did here, I did for the lining, except the fact that I did not add pocket to the lining. Remember, this is just for the main fabric that you add pocket to, not to the lining, right? So the lining, I just join all the panels together at the seam area where it is necessary to join the seam. I just join them together. So by the time you finish sewing it, you'll be having the opening just for only the front, right? So the opening will just be for only the front. Remember, it's a wrap, so the opening will be having it at the front. So we need another flay to attach to this front here, to attach to all the opening. That's what we have from this beginning to the ending part of this side too. So the material that I have, the 6 years, if you are not careful, you will not be enough for you, because both the upper part and the dark part is going to be wrapped. So this is taking a lot of fabric already. So to cut the other flay for this, I have to use another method again to manage the fabric, right? So I cut this on my brown paper first, then I use this to cut on my fabric. You can see how short it is, right? Because of my material. By the time I finish cutting everything, what I have left was very small. So I have to make use of what I have. When I was cutting it on my fabric, what I did was that I just placed it this way, then mark it, then I continue the folding again. I continue the cutting this way again, then continue until I get it all circled. So meaning that the line here can continue depend on how your fabric is. So I cut about, by the time I do it like that way, I cut about 8 of this to achieve the amount that I need for the opening. So this is it. You can see how it is, right? So what I did was that I just fold in quarter on quarter, then sew on it. So I've already torn the down parts, right? So there are some joining. So these are the joining lines that I have here. You can see how neat it is, both in and out, right? So what I did, I just placed them both on each other, then fold it this way, then top stitch on it. So this is what I have. You can see how neat it is, right? You can see how neat it is, both in and out. So you don't need to be scared if your material is not much. Go ahead to do what I have done and join all the pieces together to achieve the length that you want, right? So with this now, I'm going to spread this down, then I'll be placing this on it all round, then I'll place my lining on top. So let me do that, because this table will not be enough for me to spread it. So let me do it on the floor, then I'll show you how it looks. So after spreading it down, this is what I have. You can see the circle, right? So this is what we have for how it looks. So this upper part here is where the waist is, right? So I'm going to place my gathers on it now. I'm going to place the little flay that I cut, and I'm going to place it on it. Then I'll place the lining on top.
So here is it. I've already placed the flay on it. So this is the flay. So I place them right side face each other. So this is the right side of my skirt and this is the right side of the flay. Then I place it on it this way. So I'm going to place my lining now on top. So I place it all round, right? So I'll place the lining on top. Then I'm going to be sewing with half inch. So this is one side of the wrap for the front. I'll sew it to the down part this way. The flay enter the down part, then to the other side of the wrap for the front, right? So I'm going to place the lining on top, then I will sew it with half inch. So here is the lining. You can see the lining, the lines that I've sewn to for the lining, right? To join the four panels together. So you can see the seam that I used and I iron it flat. So I also place the lining right side face each other of my skirt. And remember the flay is already inside, right? So I'm just going to go ahead now to sew with half inch or to the underside. Then I'll give it a good press. Then I'll come back to show you.
So guys, we're almost done with this skirt. So what I've done, I've already sewn it with the lining. You can see. So the extent of this lining with this is that the joining of the flay to the skirt, there is no rough edges, right? Because we use the lining to turn it. You can see how beautiful it is, right? So what is left now is to join my join the band. So what I'm going to use for my band, the band of this skirt is what is going to extend to the rope to tie it at the back. If you want to bring it to the front, just as you are seeing it on that style, you can also bring it to the front. So I'm going to do my band now. So the band is what we are going to sew to close this rough edge at this upper part. So here is the band, guys. As I've mentioned, it's going to be a very long one, right? So just may use the pieces that you have to create a band. So this is what I have, very beautiful. So I've torn all this is for the rope side, then the side that has the main band side, you can see that I left it open. So I'm going to fix it the way we fix our band. So I'll just get the midpoint of this lining that I add is what is going to be for the lining inside, so it will correspond with what we have here. Can see how that works. So I will going to place it the side that has the ankara. I will place it right side face each other. I will place it on the middle part of this with this so that they can meet, right? So just go ahead to sew with half inch, then after which you use this to turn it this way and top stitch on it the way we fix our band, and I will sew it to the end. So that's what I'm going to do to this, and I'm going to show you the final result of this, and that's the end of this video, guys. It's just simple as what we have done here. Now if you are yet to watch the upper parts, please do wait to watch that. You really learned a lot from that.
And here is the final result of what we have created. The middle one is the one that we just create now. If you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, please do it to like and subscribe. You can see how flowy, how beautiful the dress looks on her. Thank you so much for always watching. Please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section and go and watch the upper part, the top part.